And welcome to another scintillating edition of One-on-One Sports. I'm Mike Feldman. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. First, Springs and I tackle the one-and-done rule in college basketball.
Then Eric Kendall and Alex Sharon discuss the 2010 Winter Olympic Games, and is luge too dangerous?
Then I'll be joined by Alex Rosenbaum and Rich Ryan as we discuss NBA All-Star Weekend, and was this the worst dunk contest of all time? Find out later in the show.
And don't change that channel, because that's not all we have on tap tonight. Andy Harris and Tom Waterman will be in studio to wrap up the Daytona 500 and discuss the potential surrounding rookie Danica Patrick.
That's all on tap tonight on One-on-One Sports. Stay tuned. We start in 60 seconds.
Welcome back to One-on-One Sports. Mike, this Olympics started this past week. In your opinion, what has been the best part of the Olympics up to this point?
I'm going to open up the show by saying that the opening ceremony was the best part of the Olympics for me. All the stuff I'm really looking forward to, like, you know, the USA hockey team, all that, hasn't really started yet. So I'm going to say the opening ceremony, I thought it was the second most expensive opening ceremony in the history of the Olympics. I loved it. I liked seeing Gretzky out there, seeing Steve Nash, that curtainy mountain they had. I thought they did a fabulous job. I really liked it.
Since when does throwing money ever work when fixing a problem? I'm sorry. They can throw as much money as they want at it, but it's Canada. Think about it. What do they have? What do they bring to the table? Eskimos, weird tradition, police on horseback.
These are all rumors. See, Canada, give you a little history lesson here, invented the telephone, invented the AM radio with Marconi. You know, Canada and French fries and gravy. Canada brings a lot to the table, and for what they had, I thought they did an excellent job.
Name one great leader that Canada's produced.
Great leader?
There you go!
Sidney Crosby,
Next
captain
topic.
of the Stanley Cup Pittsburgh Penguins. But as we argue here, there's been some trouble this weekend in college basketball as Dick Vitale and NBA Commissioner David Stern shared some harsh words regarding the one-and-done rule in college basketball. Springs, what's your take on the one-and-done rule, and do you think it should be changed?
I think it should be abolished, personally. It's a slap in the face to all of academia. I mean, if you really want kids to be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get an education. I'm going to go and I'm going to get a degree. The one-and-done rule, they know they're going to college for a year. That means they don't even have to go to class because, we'll placate my thoughts later, but at the same time, think about this. They go to class, their coaches are still going to give them A's and B's and make them pass so they can play and be academically eligible. I mean, it's a corrupt world we live in, but if you really want kids to appreciate the university system and education as a whole, make them go to class for at least 2 years. That's what the NFL does.
So 2 years, you're going to get the same education? Springs, let's look at the best players in the NBA right now. We got LeBron James, no college. Kobe Bryant, no college. Even we'll throw in Carmelo Anthony, he had 1 year.
You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. I'm saying either if they choose to go to college, make them go for 2 years, and if they don't want to go to college, they don't have to. They can go into the workforce, the NBA, the workforce.
Brandon Jennings, you can go play in Europe for a year.
Exactly. But I think that the one-and-done rule is really a slap in the face of all of academia. That's my thoughts. Okay, let's continue. This college basketball season, March Madness is not too far away. So, Mike, who are you looking to as the favorites to win in the major conferences, the 6 BCS conferences in football, in college basketball?
Well, I'd say there's some obvious ones. Duke is looking like the strongest team in the ACC in a struggling league this year. I'd say Cal's looking the best in the Pac-10. We got Kansas being undefeated and playing really well in the Big 12. Got Kentucky, one of the best teams in the country, John Wall, and the SEC. And then the Big East, the top teams are getting upset. I think Villanova squeaks it out in the end in the last 5 games.
Okay, fair enough. And you didn't hit on the Big 12.
Oh, Big 12. I'm
sorry, the Big 10.
Big 10. We got Michigan State, Purdue, and Ohio State all playing each other as the top 3 teams coming down the stretch. I think that Michigan State, they got Ohio State at home, and then I think that they can upset Purdue at Purdue, and they'll win the conference.
I agree with all of your picks except for 2. I think Wisconsin, they're only 1 game back in the Big Ten, and rarely do teams go into Madison and beat Wisconsin. Bo Ryan's club plays
and they don't have to play any of those top 3 teams, so if they all knock each other off.
The best team that they have left on their schedule is Northwestern. And Northwestern is a pushover this year, but if that's the best
middle
team,
of the pack.
Exactly. They've already played Illinois, they've already played State, they've already played Purdue. I think Wisconsin can not only win the regular season title, and be number 1 going into the conference tournament, but I also think they can win the conference title.
Especially with the number 1 seed.
I agree, and I disagree with Kansas. I think Rick Barnes always finds a way to get it done. I really think Texas will upset Kansas, and they may not have to play Kansas in the Big 12 tournament, but I think Texas, no matter what, will win the Big 12 tournament.
Springs, you're wrong. Texas has 4 losses. Kansas has 0 in the conference. Unless Kansas loses the rest of their games and Texas wins the rest, they're not going to win.
Fair enough.
But we'll move on. The USA national basketball team is finally set with such a loaded roster as always. Are they a lock to repeat in 2012?
Absolutely. The 2000s were a joke. I mean, we really just didn't take ourselves seriously, and it was embarrassing as an American. You saw the dream team of the 1990s. I think that people really will have a national sense of pride, and especially those players, they're going to want to bring home the gold. They don't care how easy it is playing Argentina or Norway or Finland or Andorra. They want to bring home the gold. And if it's easy, yeah, that's nice. If it's a challenge against teams like Argentina, they're going to put their best foot forward because it's not during the season, it's for America, and I think athletes recognize that.
Springs, when the United States of America puts their mind on something, we get it done. You know, basketball was slipping, so we had the Redeem team. And then, you know, in like World War II, if we want to stop communism, we go out there and we fight on 2 fronts and we stop communism. But you know, the USA team, we loaded it. I think the players are motivated, and I think that that'll allow us to win the gold medal.
Glad to see we finally agree on something.
Finally. Unfortunately, we do have to pay for the sponsors, so a quick commercial break is on the way. But stay tuned because when we return, Eric Kendall and Alex Sharon join me on set as we discuss the Vancouver Games.